Yo, welcome to another episode of Empire Jeff TV. I am your host, Empire Jeff, coming to you on a Tuesday night, live from Los Angeles, California. Hope everyone is doing well. It's been a week. It's been a week since my last show. It's been a week in general of craziness with everything going on in LA. But back tonight. Hope everyone is safe. Hope everyone is doing well. Me and my family are good. We're okay. A lot of people that are near and dear to our heart, several of them are not. So it's been a week of adjusting and kind of getting through that and helping people sort some things out. And we'll be back here tonight. Hope all your families are safe. And if anything happened to any of your families, God bless them. And I hope that hope they're in good, as best spirits possible right now. So hopefully the Dodgers will bring us some good news in the coming days, and we can talk some sports and try to get our minds off of the chaos that's been in LA the last week and probably what's coming again in the next 36 to 48 hours. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being patient. We had our best show ever a week ago tonight, over 4,000 views, right in the midst of leading up to the wildfires with crazy windstorms. And then the channel went dark for a week. So definitely apologize for that. A lot of things going on. So appreciate you guys tuning in, and let's talk some Los Angeles Dodgers baseball here. Now, let's talk over a couple of things that we know already, that we know that's happening, that has already happened. And then it's time to speculate on what we think and what I think is going to happen. And honestly, what I think has already happened. So we will get into all that, giving a moment here for people to come in. We've got, people are pulling up heavy here already over on Twitter X. We've already got over 200 people live on Twitter right now, Twitter X. So appreciate you guys. Search, I see you, my big brother Search, the best in the business. Thank you for holding it down. And Roki Sasaki is a name that a lot of Dodger fans have been waiting on. Dodger fans who have kind of known he has for years, such as myself. I know we kind of hit the scene to a lot of Dodger fans last year. But there's a lot of us who've been kind of knowing his name right around or before the World Baseball Classic. And we've been waiting on this. We've been absolutely waiting on this. There were a lot of teams waiting on this, but there were also a lot of teams who believed that it was a foregone conclusion that he would be a Los Angeles Dodger. That did not stop teams from trying to pursue him. That did not stop teams from, trying to get his agent to get meetings with the player. Did not stop teams from doing everything in their power to get into consideration here. And a lot of teams got into consideration. I think it was over 20 teams. The bottom edge of the league definitely tried to get a meeting with this agent or even with him, and it didn't pan out, right? Even if you have no chance, to say that you got a meeting with him is good baseball street cred for your organization. So here we go with the two New York teams being out of it, the Giants being out of it, the Rangers being out of it, and obviously the Diamondbacks being out of it, pretty much the Cubs being out of it. So we're told it's coming down right now to the final three teams in the running, the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Blue Jays. Now, I don't know how the Blue Jays got in there, other than the fact that I'm perceiving it as just his agent, Joe Wolf, just showing respect to the Rogers group there because they got a lot of money. And like I said, if your name is linked to this player, it is good for your organization, even if you do not get him. So if you've noticed, all of these top, quote unquote, top tier free agents that have been linked to any team, the Blue Jays have been linked to every single one of them. They haven't gotten any of them, but that's pretty much the agents doing the Rogers group a favor there. So here we are. Roki Sasaki is linked to them in the final three. I do expect them to fall off first. Obviously, this is what it always has been, was going to come down to the Dodgers and the Padres. It was going to come down to the Padres trying to steal him from the grasp of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And it was always going to be about the Dodgers not losing him to the Padres. Now, we saw the videos of his second meeting with the Padres yesterday. He went down to Petco Park. He went down there. He was there was footage of him doing stretches and warm-ups and pitching sessions over there at Petco Park in Padre gear. And the amount of messages I got as a result of that was crazy because people were legitimately freaking out about it. But there was nothing really to get overworked there. This was an excellent opportunity for the Padres that even if he does not choose them, to get him showing off in their ballpark, wearing their gear, to keep their name and their brand out there. And it's a distraction off of what's currently going on with their franchise in their ownership scandal that they've got going on right now. My guy, Chris, the graphic god. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, brother. And I see you. Let's Talk podcasting here as well. So super sticker says, from Chris, the art director. Appreciate you for the $1.99 super sticker there. Appreciate you, brother, as always. And we got Let's Talk Podcast in the building as well, with another $1.99 super chat here. My guy Jeff just showing love. Go Dodgers. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate the super chats. Appreciate you just spending your time dropping a like and subscribing if you haven't been here before. But as it comes down to it, like I said, this was not abnormal for this to happen. Teams visit teams, and sometimes when it's a high marquee player, teams will give that player their merch to wear, and they've got photos and videos of them wearing their branding. So that is not abnormal. It's not abnormal. So that to me doesn't signal one way or another that the Dodgers have lost Roki Sasaki to the Padres. He worked out with the Blue Jays too. He can't work out at Dodger Stadium on the field because it's under construction. So he definitely probably worked out for the Dodgers somewhere, but the Dodgers have been to Japan to see him numerous times. They know everything about him. They've been in the Roki Sasaki business far longer than anyone else in the game has been. Like I said, they set the foundation on going after him years ago. And that's where they currently find themselves right now, hoping that time spent going after him is going to cash in with them landing him. Now, with the three teams that are in here, we can break all these different things down. You can discredit another organization. You can big up the Dodgers, whatever it may be, right? You've got the Blue Jays. They've got roster issues there. They've got issues getting free agents there. They haven't extended Vlad. They didn't come to a deal with him. What are you doing with Bichette? There's a lot of potential issues there with that team. Does Roki go to Canada with that team when their best player could potentially be out of there as early as mid-season. And what are you going there for? As far as I know, he did not learn to speak French while in Japan. So I don't necessarily see or understand why the Blue Jays are linked there for any other thing than to a favor from the agent to the organization. And now when it comes to the Padres, we can sit up here and we can talk all we want about the organization. We could talk about the situation with the owners, the former owner's wife and the brothers and the group there. But to me, the real big problem with the Padres, even above that, is their lack of a TV deal. I don't see how his agent, Joe Wolf, could send him to the Padres when they don't even have a TV deal. Like, I don't understand how that can happen. You got a guy taking below market money to go to a smaller market than the Dodgers. San Diego is labeled a small market, but they are not a small market. They are not, because the way that the team spends money, or has spent money, as aggressive as they are, and how much attention they crave, they are not your typical small market team. They don't operate like one. Now, they are not the Los Angeles Dodgers. They are not the New York Yankees, the Red Sox, the Mets. They are not those guys. But as far as attention to a team and a brand, that brand is pretty strong right now. So the Padres have something going for them as far as market share right now. And don't let anyone tell you different. All right. So, but outside of that, there is damage to that brand by not having a TV deal. Not having a TV deal, and then the ownership situation, and then the bad contracts, and then his idol being, up there in age, and how long is he even going to be there, let alone effective? And all these things really come down to, if Roki chooses the Padres, he just wants to be the guy as far as the pitching is concerned. He wants to be the star, the brand, the everything. And if he does go that route, to be the star, the brand, the everything, on a team without a TV deal, on a team you're not even 100% sure how this litigation is going to play out, does it end up with the brothers? Do they kind of just sell and get out from under this? Like, you don't know who's going to be there to pay you when your time comes up with your service time of 6 years, or if you get extended earlier than that. You don't know when or what that team or front office is going to look like. And as a result of that, his agent has to have some serious reservations about putting him in that type of environment. Now, his agent may not want him there. His agent may warn him about this. His agent may tell him all of these things. But in the end, it's Roki's decision. And while I can't get any type of, and I'm not necessarily sure that anyone can, I can't necessarily come across anyone that knows for sure like what's going to happen, because I think it's really buttoned up here. I think the only two people that know right now are Roki and his agent. I think that the Dodgers have a very good idea of where this is going, but I don't think they know 100% for sure yet. And even if Roki and his agent were 100% set on going to the Dodgers, even if they never fully 100% considered any other teams, that does not mean that you don't want to try to leverage some promises and assurances from the Dodgers. And that doesn't mean that you don't want to try to have conversations with them, get answers about their pitcher development, get answers about their pitching injuries, get answers of what type of spending are they going to do the second half of Ohtani's deal. Like, get these type of answers from them. And this is why the players weren't in the room the first meeting. It was, what I heard was, and this is, I don't know how many teams this took effect with, but I heard in some of the meetings that Sasaki wasn't even there. It was the agent doing that initial meeting with teams. And then some of those teams got phased out, that Sasaki did not meet with every single team. Now, whether that's true or not, I have no idea. But the second round here, he definitely did. He met with the Padres, he met with the Blue Jays, and he has met with the Dodgers, meeting with the Dodgers today in person. Now, when we talk about this, and we said this when it came down to Yoshinobu Yamamoto, we said, look, we hear that the Yankees and the Dodgers were battling out for Yamamoto. The Giants were in it to a certain extent. A lot of teams were in on it. But what we kept saying was, how was that man going to walk into a room with Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and tell them no? We just didn't foresee that happening. And at that point, Yamamoto was no guarantee to come to the Dodgers. Now, I had a lot more intel on that process, and if you go back and check the track record, you can see that's true. No one guesses right that many times. All right. I was telling you guys a lot of this along the way. That situation, the Yamamoto situation, was not buttoned up anywhere near the Ohtani and Roki situation. It just wasn't. It wasn't. That one, I had a pretty strong assurances that as long as the Dodgers topped Garrett Cole's money, they were getting him. I said that before it happened, and it was reported that's exactly how it happened. And the Dodgers offered $1 million more, right? Like I said, I've got receipts of this, right? I'm not making this up. The Roki and Shohei situation are more buttoned up. I don't really believe that anybody knows. I think a lot of people suspect and think and what feels right, and what they could assume. And I've got my assumptions, and I've got where I'm pretty positive it's going to happen. We're going to get to that in a second here. But when it comes to Roki, nobody really knows. Nobody knows. And I think a lot of that is by design. And Roki seems to be a very private and respectful person. And he's got an idol in San Diego. He's got countrymen and current WBC and probably future WBC teammates on the Dodgers. So no matter which side he picks, he's picking a side over the other. And I think the others, I don't think there's going to be any beef per se as a result of it. I just think he's trying to be respectful in the process because of that. But no one knows, right? Nobody knows. They can believe, they can feel, they can know in their hearts, yeah, this is happening. Like, I believe this is happening. But it's not like they can pick up the phone, call Roki, and get assurances. This is what I'm saying. No one has heard directly from the agent or the player that he is going to the Dodgers. And in baseball, it's pretty rare to not get any type of inside details from the guys that I've been able to get that from. And Ohtani was pretty much impossible. Ohtani and Roki were pretty much widely assumed, widely expected. It got a little nervous there at the end, but I never really wavered because the guys that I talked to, I trust their instincts. I trust everything that they were reporting on. I trusted everything that they searched down, and I never really wavered, even when some heavy publications were coming out saying the opposite. Yamamoto, I knew he was a Dodger. I just knew that. Roki, like I said, nobody knows, but we have some pretty good idea, right? We have a pretty good idea. And from my side of the table here, as I've been saying, it has been the San Diego Padres' job this entire process to steal him from the Los Angeles Dodgers. And it was the Dodgers' job to not lose him to the San Diego Padres. And I believe that one team has done their job and another team has not. And that is, I believe the Padres have failed in their attempts. I am 90% sure right now that Roki Sasaki will be a Dodger. And I'm pretty sure this could happen in the next few days. Could this go to the 23rd? Sure. Will it? I don't think so. I think that they know they're holding up players and their international pool money. They're holding up people's careers and situations. And if this was a regular Major League Baseball free agent, I don't think they would care too much. But Roki, I think he kind of already knows. And I think he's probably going to be a little respectful here and let those guys go get to work. So I think Roki's ours. I think Roki's coming to LA. And I think we're going to have the best rotation in MLB history. And when I talk to people who cannot give me any assurances like they've heard anything or they have any intel, I can't get anything that points to this as proof or fact. The only thing I can get are people who have done this for a very long time, including people who have scouted players overseas, covered teams overseas. And there is pretty strong belief by a lot of people that he will be a Los Angeles Dodger. Could he go to the Padres? Of course. Will he? I don't think so. I don't think he does. And that's just where I'm at with it. Curious to see where you guys are currently at with it. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a poll up here. I know we've done this before in the chat, but things have changed. You've seen Sasaki and Padre colors, right? Did that change your mind? It didn't change mine. We know that the Padres are still in it in the 11th hour here along with the Dodgers. Does that change your mind? So let's see here. So let's go ahead and get this poll going. And let's see what you guys think. Because again, I believe he will sign with the Dodgers. I believe he will sign with the Dodgers by Sunday at the latest. And I could be completely 100% all the way wrong on both of these predictions and both of these guesses. But I think that this, will be the case. And if he doesn't announce it in the next few days, I believe the Dodgers will know something in the next few days. That's just my opinion. Like I said, in talking to some people that have, like I said, do this for a living, and a lot of them kind of feel along the same way. So the Padres, I don't know how much of a dent they made. I don't know if they had him guessing, had him thinking. I don't know. I have no idea if they've caused some pause there. I don't know. But from everything that I've heard back is the Dodgers have just been all over this from the get-go before anyone was after him. And if you listen to even what Song Kim said about why he signed with the Dodgers, and he said one of the biggest reasons was that the Dodgers were the first person to reach out to him. They stayed in contact with him through the entire process. They never pressured him. They just made him know that he was wanted by the team, let him know that they would make other players available via trade and move them to make room for him, which was interesting that they gave him that type of information. So this leads me to believe that Roki probably knows what other situation is coming here. And I'm starting to kind of, if you start to piece these things together, you kind of start to get a feeling that it's probably the Dodgers are looking at this like, look, Roki and Tanner Scott, or go get another starter. It's kind of how they're looking at this. So if the Dodgers get Roki, I think they get Tanner Scott too. If they don't get Roki, I think they go all in on a starting pitcher. So I think they're going to get Roki and Tanner Scott. And it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Dave Roberts said we're going to paint Japan blue. We have a chance to go into the first two games of the regular season and throw Yamamoto and Roki Sasaki on the mound with Ohtani hitting. I mean, come on, the script writes itself. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't. It's too perfect. And I expect that Roki Sasaki will be playing for the Dodgers in Japan versus the Chicago Cubs to start next season. That's just what I feel. And if it doesn't happen, I'm just wrong. Like I said, I don't have any sources on this. I don't have anyone that's telling me that they're hearing this is for sure going to happen. I have no details other than it just makes the most sense to me. The Dodgers have been laying the groundwork on this for forever. They've done everything right, it seems. I don't see them have done anything wrong here that could potentially lose them Roki Sasaki. I just don't see it happening. And if the Dodgers thought that Roki had an issue with playing with these guys, they probably would have a general idea of it because Wolf is also Yamamoto's agent. So the Dodgers have punted and let go some of their top international pool players. They've lost players to the Pirates. They lost another one today. The Dodgers are letting go of talent that they would have this year that other teams really wanted and paid double the price that the Dodgers paid them to get them. And the Dodgers are just letting them go. You think they're doing that if they don't feel strongly that they got Roki? I'll tell you this right now. The Padres players aren't bolting. The Padres international pool players for 2025 have not left. They have not left. And that's probably because the Padres are telling them, hold on. The Dodgers don't appear to be doing that. The Dodgers do not appear to be telling their international pool players to wait this out in case it doesn't happen. That seems to be the Padre message. The Dodgers are operating like a team that feels they already have them. Now, this could be a swing and a miss. It could. It could absolutely be a swing and a miss. But I think there's going to be some contact here, y'all. I think there's going to be some contact here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Almost 500 people on Twitter X right now, 80 people on YouTube. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Drop a like on the post, repost the post on Twitter X. I greatly appreciate it. I want to take the time real quick. I'm not going to promote any of my links and search. If you're in here, I know you probably already have, and I should have told you this to start it off here. I don't want to make this show about anything for me or anything that I'm affiliated with. I don't want this show to be about anything else when it comes to donation other than one of my guys, one of my friends in this space of content creation of basketball, amongst other things. If you guys haven't heard, Dime Dropper and his family lost his home in a fire in the Palisades last week. Dime is a big time member of this content creation community. He's always been a good supporter of mine. Been very good to me. And I've always reciprocated. I've always watched his show. I've always been a big supporter of him. And in times like this, it's really important that we support our own within our communities on here. And Dime and his family lost their home, lost their family business, lost their neighborhood. And at the end of the day, if we wake up a couple of days from now and the biggest problem we have is that Roki Sasaki chose another team, that's not a problem at all. What these people are going through is a major problem. This changed their lives. This affects their day-to-day life. So I humbly ask you guys, in lieu of giving me anything, to please, if you can find it in your hearts, to donate to my guy, Dime Dropper, and his family, to their GoFundMe page. Great guy, great content. He did a little brief video today about his situation. He lost all his equipment. He lost all his memorabilia. He lost everything. And I want to be part of helping him recapture everything. And I hope you guys can contribute to that. And like I said, if you've never heard of Dime or you've never watched his show, go subscribe to him, give him support. He's one of us. He's one of us. And I want to do my part. And I will continue to do my part on every show I do, to make sure that he's supported and that the community does everything they can to support him too. And I'm going to do something as well. I've got family members, I've got friends, I've got co-workers, I've got a lot of people affected by this, and I want to do something. I'm not that big of a channel to where I can make a massive impact as far as online, but I'm a guy in community, like physically out there in community that can drive some stuff. All right. So I want to make sure that I take care of Dime and his family. And then I'm going to plan something for the people of Altadena, the Palisades, and every people that are affected. We're going to do donation centers, all kinds of different things that I have the capability of setting up. But for tonight, I ask you if you can please support my friend Dime. Every dollar counts. It doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to be much. It does. You could drop $1, $2 and just give him a blessing. Lift him up. Lift him up. Give him a blessing. And if you don't know Dime, then do it for me. Please do it for me. He deserves it. And we love you, Dime. And really, I'm really sorry that you guys are going through this, man. And Church, if you can, repopulate that link throughout the night. And again, if you guys can, I humbly ask you guys to please go support Dime Dropper. And appreciate you guys. All right. Man, it's tough. It's tough to see good people go through bad things, man. So when I'm trying to get my mind right after that. When it comes to everything that the Dodgers got going here, Roki Sasaki just feels like the bow on top. right? He just brings it all together, and it just seems like he is the piece, the final kind of piece to this multi-year plan to become a perennial World Series champion and dynasty. And I think that this is that piece that kind of just stamps it. They already have it. I think they're already on their way to it. And if the Dodgers don't get Roki and he does go to the Padres, the Dodgers are still the best team in the world and still win the World Series, in my opinion. And it doesn't take the Padres to that next level. But if you add him as a Dodgers 4th, 5th, 6th starter, my God, the depth that this team can have would be absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And this is exactly the type of move that the Dodgers could pull off. Like I said, that would add that stamp, that bow on top, and just they've already had an incredible offseason on top of it, man. I mean, they really have. Signing Blake Snell, extending Edman. You brought back Trinan. You re-signed Teoscar Hernandez. These are all the things that were on the top of your list. And if you get Roki Sasaki, then you've done everything you set out to do this offseason. And then Tanner Scott kind of becomes the bow on top, right? You just keep adding that other bow. But I think if you get Roki, you get Tanner, or you're at least in strong position to get Tanner. If you don't get Roki, you're probably going heavy after a starter. And maybe, God, I did not think this was possible 7 to 10 days ago. Maybe, just maybe, this leads to Jack Flaherty coming back. And I did not think that would ever be a possibility this offseason, nor did I. And it shows that, Walker Buehler did not wait this out. This is another kind of, if you are a tea leaf reader, this is another tea leaf here, is that Walker Buehler did not wait it out. The Dodgers are already punting their international pool players for this year. The Padres are not punting their players. It's all kind of lining up. It's kind of lining up, man. And whether Roki becomes the superstar pitcher, perennial Cy Young Award winner that everyone thinks he could be, that he could become, whether he ever reaches that or not, it's just the fact that you got the guy that everybody wanted. And if you're wrong and it doesn't work, no one can say nothing to you because you got him dirt cheap and everybody wanted him. Everybody wanted him. So there's nothing that can go wrong here, even if he's a bust. It's like no risk, high reward, no risk. It's no risk. It's no risk, because even if he becomes an average pitcher, the Dodgers could use that. The Dodgers could use that. You get an average pitcher for 6 years, another brand name pulled out of Japan when you're probably going to be pulling more guys. And this is why I think this is probably my most important thing, my most important reasoning or reason or hope or belief of why it's so important to get Roki. And if he becomes that dude, if he truly is that dude, is because he's 23 years old. So at a point where maybe Yamamoto is older, this guy's this guy's gonna be a couple years behind him. But Ohtani at 30 years old, 5 years from now, when Ohtani is kind of still Ohtani but not Ohtani, right? Then you got Roki coming into his prime, his dominance coming into his money years. And now you got potentially Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki, and who knows who else in that rotation there to carry this team into the next 5 years of Shohei Ohtani. And that is why this is so important, because as Shohei, Mookie, Freddie age, Roki and Yamamoto are coming into their primes. You continue to fill out that rotation. You add some other young superstar bats along the way, down the line, when Tails' money's gone, when Freddie's money's gone, you got guys you can go get, you just plug them in. But you potentially have your rotation locked up, a potential 1-2 guy for the next 10 years if this works out right. And this is exactly what the Dodgers are locking in on. But I don't think for a second that Roki's going to be an average pitcher. I don't sit back and worry about his mechanics. I don't worry about his ability. I don't worry about his progression. I don't worry about any of that. The only thing I ever worry about when it comes to a high level prospect pitcher is injuries. That is the only thing I worry about. And because he's 23 years old, even if he has a Tommy John or two, he's 23 years old. He's 23 years old and you're not paying him crazy money. At some point, he's going to have an injury, but he's 23 years old. This guy can pitch for probably 12, 13 years. And if you end up missing a couple of years of that due to just natural pitching evolution of baseball, so be it. But this is why getting him with this team at this time where he has time to come into his own. Look, I think he could come in and have a good year next year. I don't think he's not going to come in and be ace level out the gate. He's going to be good, but I don't think he comes in as number 1 or 2 stuff. And he doesn't have to here. If he goes to San Diego, they're going to expect that out the gate. They're going to expect that. No Musgrove. They're probably trading Cease. Do they trade Michael King? Does Michael King even pitch like last year's Michael King? Like, who knows? Who knows? But with the Dodgers, he can just slide in there, man. Steady as she goes. Yo, Blake, Glasnow, Shohei, Yamamoto, Roki. And there's other guys. He can go on his regular work, on his regular rest. The Padres ain't going to go out there and throw a 6-man rotation out there for him. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they can. Everything lines up. 6-man rotation, regular rest, 2 other countrymen, opening up in Japan. They just won a World Series. They're going to win another World Series. They're going to win more than that. You're playing with the best player in baseball, the biggest global star in baseball. Right now, the biggest brand in baseball, while you're making essentially a minimum. All of these things matter when it comes to branding and off the field money and what Roki Sasaki can do to kind of offset just getting international pool money and essentially a minor league deal for 6 years. Everything about that screams Los Angeles Dodgers. It just does. It just does. My God, we have 550 people live on Twitter X right now. Starting to kind of become that baseball live stream dude over there. Just one night, it just popped off. It happened, and people have been pulling up and coming back. I greatly, greatly, greatly love and appreciate you guys, as well as the YouTube audience, as well as the Facebook audience. I never, ever promote the Facebook group, EmpireJeffTV. I just totally forget I have one sometimes. But man, y'all doing great tonight, man. I appreciate you. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And once again, make sure the link is in the chat. The link will be throughout the show. If you're just tuning in, please make sure to support our dear friend Dime Dropper, who he and his family have lost their family home and family business in the Palisades wildfires last week. And I want to make sure that we do everything we can to help take care of Dime and his family, man. But yeah, so let me get to this poll. Let me see where you guys are at. I have a feeling it's going to be heavy. Yes. Yeah, there we go. So it's only we got 56. What is that? 56 votes. How many people we got in the building again? We got 93 people in the building right now watching live. If you're watching live and you have yet to contribute to the poll, please do so now on whether Roki Sasaki will sign with the Dodgers in your estimation. We currently have 58 votes on the poll, and it is a whopping 93% yes. Now, I want to ask you guys to contribute to the chat a little bit here. I know I haven't hit your guys' chats yet. I'm sorry. I've been gone a week. Just talking up a storm here. I'm going to get to some of your chats. For those who said yes, and there's a lot of you that said yes, let me know why you think he's coming to the Dodgers. And for those of you who said no, let me know why you don't think he's coming to the Dodgers. And I'm curious to see, even though it's a landslide, this is an absolute landslide as to that you have him coming to the Dodgers. I want to know why you think he's coming to the Dodgers. And I also want to know why you think he's not coming to the Dodgers if you are on that side of the fence. So let me know in the chat, because I'm very curious to see what you guys think here. And I'm going to start taking your chats here in a second. I've got something popping up. Okay. I'm kind of glued to my my baseball group chats here because, technically, even though he can announce technically as early as 9 p.m. tonight. He could sign technically as early as 9 p.m. tonight. I don't think that's happening, obviously, but it doesn't change the fact that it can happen. So I'm gonna try to see if I can catch up. I don't believe I'll be able to catch up to all these chats because I went about 40 minutes here talking. So I'll try to hit on these quick. Lewis, appreciate you, bro. Me and the family are good. Thank you. I appreciate it. For those who didn't catch the short I did earlier in the week, so my home's never a threat to the wildfires. I'm too inland. I'm nowhere near the mountainside, the hillside, the brush. I'm inland, so we're never really a threat to wildfires. But we end up kind of in the ring of it. Like I'm literally in a ring of fire right now. Like if you look out my house, like I've got the Altadena's fire, Pasadena fire on one side, the Silmar was on the other, Palisades, the Santa Maria. It's like a whole circle around us, right? It won't get to us, but it still affects us because, like I said, we know people in those areas. I have to travel in and out of a evacuation zone daily. And it was really it was hectic last week. Let me just tell you, it was hectic. It was sad. It was horrible. Having to console people who've lost their homes, it's tough. But I'm just hoping that this next round of wins that start tonight into tomorrow, just God, pray for LA and pray for everyone that this does not bring the destruction that last week's did. It's kind of scary because the fires are already started. They're still out there. So while the winds won't have to be as bad to cause as much damage because the fuel is already there, it's going to be scary for the next couple of days here. Get the likes up and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you. BC, what's going on, man? Appreciate you. Joe, what's going on, Joe? Roki will be a Dodger in 9 days. I think so too, Joseph. I think so. Make sure to go subscribe to Lakers Fast Break with Joe, Gerald, and everyone over there. They do great work. Appreciate you, bro. Jeff going to twerk like Dave Roberts if they land Sasaki. Man, Jeff does not twerk. No, Jeff does not twerk. But I heard that Joe Soro was taking twerking lessons religiously. In the event that the Steelers won the Super Bowl and the Dodgers get Roki. So maybe Joe Soro will have a twerk sesh on Lakers Fast Break. So you should go subscribe to them just for that, to see. Oh, that'll be great. Craig, what's going on, Craig? Appreciate you. Search, once again, love you, brother. Appreciate you for tuning in. One Peruvian guy, Roki to LA, just call it. I mean, I'm calling it as close as I can do without calling it. I believe it to happen. So if you want to say that calling it, I don't have firsthand knowledge of it. To me, it just makes sense that it's going to happen. If it doesn't, it just doesn't. But I believe he's coming. I believe he will be a Dodger. So if you want to, I'll call it. I'll say that, yeah, he's going to be it. In my estimation, he will be a Dodger. In my estimation. Roki will be a Dodger. I agree. LA for life. What's good, my guy? Let's go. Empire. Jeff, God bless you and yours, man. Hey, thank you, LA for life. God bless you and yours. God bless you and yours to everyone in the chat. 600 people on Twitter X right now, man. Man, y'all. This is humbling, man. LC. What's going on? LC says Friday. Friday might happen. These things tend to happen. Big news. Ohtani did a Saturday. Yamamoto didn't do a Saturday. Kim did a Saturday, so I don't know if that necessarily means anything, but these Asian players, like Haesung Kim said, he learned how to say hello in Japanese because Shohei always greeted him in Korean, and it's like these things, this level of respect that they show each other is incredible, and I think a lot of this of Roki going through the process was just to show respect, including the teams. That he wore their colors on their uniforms. I think he is doing this out of respect. I think he respects Major League Baseball clubs. And, maybe he wanted to, give Padres a little love if he's going to go dominate them for the next 10 years, right? So who knows? But Friday, I think Friday could definitely be a chance for something to pop off here, man. Chris said, best two-way channel on YouTube. Hey, Chris, appreciate you, brother. I humbly agree, but hey, maybe I'm biased, right? Maybe I'm biased, right? But I appreciate you. Roki will be a Dodger by Friday. Okay, man, I hope so. AKA the human bot. He is a human bot. Once again, let's talk podcast. Appreciate you, brother, for the super chat once again, man. Thank you, Chris. You as well. Joe says Blue Jays are linked still because of private planes. And yeah, like I said, respect to that ownership group. The agents give a lot of respect to that group. has a ton of money and potential to make agents a lot of money over the next decade or so. So they're gonna pay homage. You know, it's they're gonna do that. It's just part of the game. And if you're blessed enough to know some agents, you kind of learn kind of some of the games within the games, man. And it's kind of crazy how this stuff kind of goes down, man. Rome Peruvian guy says not as big as the Joy Taylor scandal. You know, that kind of came up in the mix of everything that was going on last week. I saw the headline. I don't know any of the details. I don't know a lot of anything that happened between last Tuesday and this Tuesday in general. I have barely seen the TV. Haven't been online much. And, I did some, I've talked via text to my baseball people. Haven't been really able to keep up with the Lakers the last week. Doesn't look like I missed much. But to that, I don't know really anything about other than the headline that I saw. But that stuff is crazy. What's going on, Aaron? Roki is ours, LFG. I think he is, bro. I think he is ours. Like I said, if he's not, then he's just not. But I think he is ours. I think he's going to be a Los Angeles Dodger, and I think we're going to know soon. The Flacco, what's going on, Flacco? Yep, Dodgers don't need to see him pitch. They need for him to sign on the dotted line. Facts. What's going on, Xbox? Appreciate you, man. Great to see you, Serge. Hope all is well over there, mates. Have a great show, Jeff, man. I know nothing but baseball, but it's a good listen. Cheers. Hey, thank you. I know I'll be back doing basketball soon. Had to pick between the two today, and right now we on Roki watch, so it's baseball. What's going on, Showtime LA? Appreciate you for tuning in. Hope you and yours are doing well. Did you see Baseball Prospectus had 2 Dodgers in the top 10 for the top 100? Yeah, and I love that the 2 of the guys that we got in the Michael Busch trade are now 2 in the top 100. And it's like people were bashing them for that trade, and they're saying we got robbed in the Gavin Lux trade. I think that trade has potential to kind of be another one of those. So that's crazy. That's crazy for sure. And that's kind of just like the Dodgers snagging mid prospects from you and turning them into top prospects. Just seems old hat at this point. It just seems like they've cornered the market on it. They have both prospects. They have prospects that teams want and the ability to spot something in other teams' prospects that they don't want, that make the Dodgers want them. And they hit on those considerably and consistently. So even when they miss on any of their own quote unquote homegrown guys, or when they wait too long to trade someone, which doesn't happen too often, they go out and do deals like this. They go out and get guys like that just pop, right? And hit the scene. And doesn't always work out, but they can then flip those guys for someone else. Some of these guys may never see the major leagues wearing a Dodger uniform. They may not. But it doesn't change the fact that the Dodgers could still get something for them if they indeed choose to. But yes, I did see that. And it's incredible, man. Joe warming up in the bookend somewhere. Joe doing his lunges and his stretches. Let's see. Empire Jeff, an insider. I'm not an insider. I am not a newsbreaker. I try to tell people this all the time. I do know some of them, and I do talk to some of them, but I am not in any way, shape, or form a newsbreaker, nor am I an insider. I think you have to have much higher access levels, and I think you have to have more range of them to be considered an insider. I do have some very good contacts, but an insider just could pick up the phone and talk to anyone on any team for like a baseball insider. Now, if you're a team insider, that's different. I wouldn't consider myself an insider. I'm just a guy that networks a lot, and I've talked to people for years and years and years, and eventually, you build relationships and you start getting some intel. But believe me, the stuff I actually talk about versus what I actually know, it's very small. It's very, very small. The stuff that I do talk about on here is stuff that I kind of poked around on my own, kind of picked up on something, started asking questions, got some confirmation, went from there. I never, ever come up here and talk about something I heard from someone else. Like, it's got to be kind of my own intuition, my own digging, my own gut feeling that I track down, get double checked, and kind of run with it from there. I never have pulled up with someone else's information that I couldn't give credit to because they don't want, they don't want me doing that. So I don't do that unless I can give them the credit. And because I can't give them the credit, I can't do it. So, but if it's my thinking, if it's something I picked up on and I started bugging them and they looked into it for me and came back with an answer on my hunch, then I can run wild with it. And I've done that a lot. And I've, because of some of the context I have and some of the conversations I have, I can start putting some things together without them telling me. It becomes my own asking answers to my own questions, and then I'm free to run with it. And like I said, if you watch me last offseason, you will see that there's no way I guessed all that. There's just no way I guessed all that. I know 100% Roki will be a Dodger. Let's see, we got Empire 824. What's going on, sir? I mean, the Dodgers already lost their top 3 international signings, and no report of Padres losing anyone. Got to mean something. Exactly. Exactly. And that's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying. When we're sitting up here saying that the Padres have not lost a single international guy, right? International signing guy. The Dodgers not only lost their international signing guy, but Walker Buehler could have waited around to see what happens with Roki. He obviously believes the Dodgers are getting Roki. So all of these things, now Jack Flaherty's waiting around, but that's because he's not getting a ton of offers out there. If someone came Jack Flaherty offering a 3-4 year deal at pretty decent money, he's going to take that. He's waiting around because his offers aren't there. But if an offer came, he's not passing on that offer, waiting to see what happens with Roki. I also believe that Walker Buehler has more contacts and more people within the organization and to kind of have that knowledge more than Jack Flaherty would. So he probably knows more than Jack Flaherty did at that point. But you're absolutely right. Those are key points. Roki's character doesn't fit with the clowns like Tatis and Machado. You know what? That's a good point. That's a good point. I don't think I've touched on that. I'm not going to say I've never thought about that, but I did think about the clubhouse and the culture there. But I do think that is something that he is probably making sure Lucky's not getting my wires here. I do believe that that's something he's probably talked at length with Yu Darvish. If that's something that he is strongly considering, if he is considering the Padres, Yu Darvish also was not a guy whose personality kind of would fit in with them, but he's still there. So I haven't really talked about that much. But you look at some of the guys on their team that you wouldn't think would fit in with that either, but they're there. And almost any major league team that you go to, you're going to have some guys like that, but the Dodgers don't. So that is an excellent and fair point. The Dodgers do not have guys like that. And we'll have to wait that out and see if that's something that is going to, steer him even further towards LA. What's going on, Leon Sexto? What's going on, man? Sasaki will be wearing Dodger blue soon. I think so too. Nobody knows, but we all know. Yeah, it's kind of that thing. I mean, I knew that Shohei was going to be a Dodger. I mean, it's not like Shohei didn't have to tell me, his agent didn't have to tell me, the Dodgers didn't have to tell me that. Like, I just knew he was going to be a Dodger. I knew Yamamoto was going to be a Dodger. I had strong feelings about Freddie Freeman being a Dodger. I knew last offseason very early that Tyler Glasnow would be a Dodger. I did shows on it. I knew very early last year that Teoscar Hernandez would be a Dodger. I did shows on that. I did a lot of these things, right? So I've done shows for almost 2 years talking about Roki would be a Dodger. I'm not going to back off that now, just with any information that tells me I should. Now, someone called me today like, yo, someone I trusted that I know is giving me spot on intel before and says it's not happening, then I would change my thoughts. I would trust them. But I've had nothing like that come across to where I'm like, this isn't happening. Does it mean it's not happening? Does it mean he's not going to the Padres? No, he very well could announce tomorrow that he's going to San Diego. I just don't think he will. Yamamoto, Snell, Otani, Glasnow, Sasaki, Goslin, May. Wow. Exactly, man. Exactly. It's this is too crazy. This is too crazy. I do feel confident. And like I said, you can put him in that rotation. You can put him on that 6-man rotation. You can put him on a week rest if you need to. You can put him on whatever schedule you want. The Dodgers have the best of the best when it comes to development, the best of the best when it comes to major league and how they treat their teams. They're redoing clubhouses. They're even redoing the other team, the guest clubhouse, like the opponent's clubhouse, just so other teams could see how well they take care of opponents. Can you imagine what they do for their own? This is all about branding and recruiting. Everything they do is world-class, grade A, next level, major league treatment to their players and even their opponents. And other players and agents take note of that. What's going on, Joe? Morales, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. The Dodgers just make so much more sense. They absolutely do. Alfonso Lucio said he will. He doesn't. If he doesn't, he's foolish. Yeah, I mean, again, there's something to be said about wanting your own legacy, your own branding, your own team. But if you're 23 years old, you want your own team. Like you could do that when you're 28 in your free agent year. Wanting your own team at 23, just I don't know. That doesn't strike me as him. I don't know the kid. It just doesn't. It doesn't strike me as something that he's gonna do. That's gonna be his approach. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be absolutely wrong on that. Jeffrey Garcia, what's going on, Jeffrey? Two Jeffs don't make it right, huh? If he doesn't sign, it's because he clearly doesn't want to win. It's as simple as that. Yeah, I mean, I think he wants to win, but maybe he doesn't. Does he go full Kawhi Leonard? Like, I don't want to play with you guys. I want to compete with you guys and beat you guys. Like, is he on that level of mentality now? They said what they said about him in the World Baseball Classic when he came back from that is that he's never replicated that feeling. And he's been searching for that ever since. It's why he's arriving early and putting aside, he could stay in Japan for 2 more years and come over for somewhere probably near $400 million. If he waits 2 more years, he's going to elect to wait 6 years to get that payday, just to get that rush back, that competitive edge. He wants that in him. That's how much he loved pitching against major league level hitters, that he's willing to sacrifice that much money to do so. Now, if that's the case, does he want to pitch against this Dodger team year after year and see what he's got? Or does he want to pitch with them and win multiple World Series? That's what it really comes down to. So I don't necessarily think he would go somewhere for it to be his team or for him to be the man. But would it be so crazy? And would it be stupid to think that maybe he wants to face the best and see what comes out of it, and then maybe join them later? Like, I don't know. But I think that could have been something that if he does decide to go there, that was the reasoning. Mr. Akmelin, appreciate you. Jay's fan here. You guys have an Asian fetish. Well, I mean, considering you're involved on every quote unquote Asian player that we have been, you might have that same fetish. The difference is we get them and you don't. Let's see. Do you have sources, Jeff? Sources? I don't like that word. No, for me, I don't like that word. I don't have sources. I have friends. You know what I mean? Like I have friends. I have people that I built relationships with over years and years, both in basketball and baseball. So no, I would not say I have sources. I would say that I have people that I have relationships with that are often in the know of things, and I'm privileged to have them as friends. But sources, I would not label them as sources. BC says only logical reason to leave now and not in 2 years when he's 25, which puts off his big payday until he's 29, is to miss the Dodgers championship window. See, that's a great point. That's another great point. Shout out to BC for that one. That is a great point. Unless he feels that the Padres, who almost beat them, have a championship window, right? Which I don't know if they do, but BC, that's a great take. That is a great take. He expects LA to repeat and wants to be part of it. Joe says, EJ, if Tanner Scott arrives also, come on, man, it's over for the league. Well, Joe, that would probably be the move because it wouldn't be any real capital to spend on Roki. Now, if you don't get Roki and you got to go get like a Flaherty on a high AAV value or someone else, then that probably takes you out of the Tanner Scott sweepstakes, right? But if you get Roki for as little as you get him, and then you can go and probably overpay Tanner Scott an extra $1 or $2 million a year because you got Roki on the low, right? So it just makes too much sense. So I know there's two things happening here. We did the last video when we were talking about Tanner Scott. And if you didn't see that video, it was a banger. It was a great one. We got over 4,200 views on that joint. Go check that video out, how we broke down of how Tanner Scott, it could be coming down to a battle between the Dodgers and the Red Sox. And the Dodgers are kind of in the same situation here. The Red Sox are thinking, look, we will overpay to get Tanner Scott if we get Bregman. It's a package deal. The Dodgers are kind of similarly going down that path. Like, we'll overpay a little to get Tanner Scott if we get Roki Sasaki. So you got Tanner Scott literally waiting to see if Boston gets Bregman or the Dodgers get Roki. And he's kind of in a holding pattern from those two. Now that I can talk about because I've heard some things about that. Outside of that, we were joking and talking about the Angels and Tanner Scott. I talked about that in a couple of shows that I could totally see the Angels getting him and then trading him at the deadline for prospects or something, right? Totally could see that. They were making jokes in the chat that he's going to sign a long-term deal and get Tommy John in spring training. But I told you guys that I could see the Angels making a play like that. And I didn't pull that out of thin air, and now it's out there. You guys know, this because I've talked about this on multiple shows. And the Angels, it would make sense for them to try to do something like that. But again, we do know that guys have turned down more money from the Angels and other teams to come play for the Dodgers. So if you are the Angels and you're offering Tanner Scott 4 years, $80 million, and the Dodgers are offering him 4 years, $75 million, you'd be foolish to take that Angels deal, right? So the Dodgers are like, look, if we get Roki for next to nothing, then we can go overpay, go get a Tanner Scott. And the Red Sox are like, look, we've done some good things this offseason. We went a little further in the standings last year than a lot of people thought. We've added some good pieces. If we can get a commitment from Bregman, then we will pay that $80 million to get Tanner Scott and just continue to add to this team. And now you're potentially looking at a team that could give a team a run in the ALCS or make it as far as that. So that's kind of where it's coming down to right now with those two teams when it comes to Tanner Scott. Is he's waiting on Roki from the Dodgers and he's waiting on Bregman with the Red Sox. I think Bregman comes down to Detroit or Boston. And if Boston gets Bregman, then look out for Tanner Scott. Just look out for him. Yes, sir. You can't make this up. It's meant to be. Yep. Chilltown All-Star. What's going on, man? WBC Big Three, LA Dodgers. Let's get it. And back-to-back 2025 World Series Championship. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jose says, I think if the Dodgers guarantee him that he will pitch in Tokyo, he definitely signs. And that's what I was saying. I think the Dodgers, I know they said that Blake Snell would probably be their opening day starter, but I think that meant at Dodger Stadium or whatever stadium they open in the U.S. If you're the Dodgers and you're going into Japan and you're playing the Chicago Cubs and you have Roki and Yamamoto and Ohtani's not pitching because he's not going to be pitching in the first month of the season, you have to throw them both out there, man. You have to. You have to make them game 1 and 2 because then you have one of them pitching in a game and Ohtani hitting in a game, and it's just box office. That alone may be why he's coming this year. It is to go back and pitch in Japan with this team, coming off a World Series with those other two guys to showcase these three guys to the guys who potentially can come over next year. Again, it just makes too much sense, y'all. It just does. It just does. Says Roki is coming. I believe so. BC says Dodgers must repeat. May not ever get a better opportunity to repeat than 2025. Let's see. What's that? Girish says contrarian view. Roki will choose Blue Jays because they offer less media coverage compared to LA. New team building in the next few years and only ace of the team position. I hear you on that, but why leave Japan for next to no money to go play for that team whose best player is probably on his way out the door? They don't have a plan. No one's decided to come there. I don't know. I get what you're saying. A lot of people tried to sell us on that with Ohtani last year. Ended up not being the case. He's probably talked to Ohtani about why he didn't consider them in the end or choose them in the end. And I don't see it. If it happens, it happens, right? The Padres would make so much more sense than Toronto if he wasn't going to go to the Dodgers. I want the Dodgers version of the 2001 Lakers, 1998 Yankees total domination. Man, me too, man. Me too. BC says Dime grew up in the Palisades. Damn. Yeah, Dime was pretty Dime was kind of a private guy. He never really let people know like where he was, where he lived. Like he just talked ball. Like he didn't really get into all that. But because this went down, you know, it was going to come out, right? So yeah, Dime was in the Palisades. But like I said, they did not just lose their family home. They also lost their family business, all of his collectibles, all of his equipment to do his shows, everything. And I'm not one to see something like that happen, not just to another creator, but just in general. If it's someone I know personally, like that went through that stuff, I'm that type of dude that I'm gonna go out my way to make sure that I do everything within my power to do my best to make them as close to whole as possible after that. I've already been doing that with people I know, whether it's giving money, whether it's donating clothes or half my closet, like whatever it is, man. I'm always gonna be that guy, take that route. That's what I've always done. That's what I always will do. I'm a giver, not a taker. And when people are in need, and if I have means, I'm gonna do what I can to help those people. And you know, Dime is a guy whose grind I respect. His commitment to this space I respect. He's a fan of a rival team, but that doesn't matter to me, right? I don't care about that. There's some, you know, Laker fans or Laker content creators who choose to not, you know, do business with him or do shows with him or talk to him simply because he's a Clipper fan. Like, that's a little weird to me. He's free to rock with whatever team he chooses, right? But he's also a diehard Dodger fan who goes to playoff games, who goes to games. And he deserves our support. So search, if you can, one more time, drop that link in the chat. I will as well. For those who missed it earlier, you know, a Dime Dropper and his family have lost their home and family business. If you could find it in your heart to donate anything, I encourage you guys to not send me any super chats. I encourage you to not tap my Cash App. Anything that you are going to give me or consider giving me, I ask that you tap that link and give that to Dime and his family. If you are in the comment section, and any which way that you support the show, instead of tapping any of my links, I ask you to tap that link to support Dime Dropper. There's nothing too big, too small. $1, $2, $3, even just offer him a prayer, offer him a big up, offer him whatever you can offer, right? Because like I said, they lost their home. So on that note, like, I want to do my part to make sure that I help spread the word for his cause, and hope him and his family, you know, get back on their feet as soon as possible. Let's see. Shohei Roki Yoshi, yeah. By the way, were Rams the only team gave some relief to LA community by winning? Yeah, because obviously the Dodgers aren't playing right now. The Lakers haven't won. I mean, the Lakers, you know, JJ lost his house. You know, the fire got close to Braun's house. They're dealing with their own internal fires as a team, right? The team has got some stuff to sort out. But shout out to the Rams, man. Shout out to the Rams. His channel is Dime Dropper. If you type in Dime Dropper, it'll come up. He covers the Clippers. He covers the Dodgers. He does cover the Lakers too. But he's a Clipper fan. Yeah, Dime's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. Yeah, he's one of the best on here. Very supportive of me. Always been very kind to me. Always made time for me. You know, when I was coming up and no one knew who I was, I'm still not a big channel, right, per se. But he made time for me always. And so I want to, you know, I like to reciprocate. I've done this before, you know, when I've had friends that have lost monetization to their channel, you know, for 3 months, you know, I would put their Cash App and do the same thing. Don't donate to me, donate to them. Like this is what I do, right? This is what I want to do when people I care about are in trouble, right? And these are the means I have. I have means outside the internet. I'm not so big on the internet yet, right? So but I'm doing my best, you know, to try to drive some traffic his way when it comes to supporting him. Appreciate you, Search. Go Rams too. Yep, absolutely. He didn't lose everything. He has you and us. That's true, Flacco. That's true. Besides Dasani, who else could potentially be a target for the Dodgers? The Dodgers, as far as our targets go, like you Roki Sasaki is their prime target. Like I would say going into this offseason, the 3 major things I had them doing was Snell, and Joe could back this up, and people who've been watching the show long enough can back this up. The 3 I had was signing Snell, retaining Teoscar, and getting Roki. I thought there was a chance that the wild card of an additional person could be someone like a Willie Adames, Tanner Scott, things like that. Tanner Scott potentially still in play. Juan Soto was never realistic. It was fun. I had fun with that, but no one in our heart of hearts thought that was really possible. But I would say it's Sasaki, and until it's not, it is. Trolling bandwagon alliance. That's got to be Cuba. Yes, he's picked now the Kansas City Chiefs. As a trolling bandwagon Dodger fan, gets run it back. Yeah, it's definitely Cuba. Definitely Cuba. Alfonso says Roki will be in a mess of a franchise if he goes to SD. I think so. Run it back, Jeff. Man, yeah, it's definitely Cuba. Mr. Layback, what's going on? Wouldn't it be funny if the Los Angeles, he called them the Rats, beat the KC Cheats in the Super Bowl? Who's your team, man? What are you, a Niners fan? What's going on here? You already know who this is. Yeah, it's Cuba. It's definitely Cuba. Sent you an email. Yep. Joe says Bueller didn't wait it out because he knows Roki was coming. And yeah, I think I was making a point earlier that I Bueller Walker obviously has more connections within the Dodgers organization than someone like a Jack Flaherty. He's been here longer, right? He's spent his whole career with the Dodgers. So he knows the ins and outs, and the Dodgers probably feel like they can trust him a little bit more, even even though we flat out lied to them on warming up in the bullpen for the game 5. I think he may have known something. Deal Dog will be back too. There's a chance, man. There's a chance. Help us three-peat. If he goes out as a decent year last year, could definitely be one, man. Yeah. For the rest of this show, please. I didn't say it at the beginning of the show. That was my fault. Yeah, definitely in lieu of any super chats or any affiliate links or anything like that, I just want to support Nine, man. Says Jeff, he will not be an average pitcher unless injuries. Yeah, he will drop his speed, improve control, spin, and add more pitches, become elite. Yeah. I said that earlier. Odds have Dodgers for Sasaki is a negative 200. Oh, okay. Well, they're the favorite for sure. Vegas thinks the Dodgers are getting him. That's another level there. The Vegas thinks the Dodgers are getting him. Roki will adjust just like Yamamoto. He eventually add a few more pitches. Cutter and slider would help. His splitter will be punching guys out like it's prime Tyson. That bro, that splitter is disgusting. How did Dime become a Clippers fan? All the ones I've met are jealous transplant fans of Northeast teams that are way too successful and root for the Clips out of spite. You know what? I don't know if I know the exact story how he became a Clipper fan. He's a basketball fan. He doesn't hate the Lakers. He does cover them too, but yeah, he is a Clipper fan. He had Clipper season seats. I don't know the backstory entirely though. Roki pitch mechanic is similar to Ohtani. Should check it out if you guys get the chance. That's a really good sign. That is true. Shohei's had a lot of injuries. Why is that a good thing? Well, for me, it's a good thing for this. Shohei could also be kind of sharing some of his program with him, right? Like, look, he's coming in. He's not going to be able to pay a top tier guy, maybe. Shohei may be able to share some of his resources, let him work out with him, let him train with him. Like, there's things like you may not have all this money to spend all the money on your body like I can, but you can take part of my plan potentially, right? I think that's something you have to consider. Yamamoto too. And I don't know if someone's going to do that for him in San Diego. And I think that's a realistic opportunity. And then maybe he can pay that forward with another Japanese star later. And I think that's something to be mindful of when it comes down to it. Roki loves the Dodgers brand and wants to win multiple chips. I agree. Yes, bigger Japanese community in LA. That's also true. Where else will Roki have a better shot of winning immediately? Well, considering he turned down, the Mets, the Yankees, the Rangers who won it, the year before. Yeah, I mean, he's turned down World Series level teams. And here we are. Los Angeles is the new capital of California. Can you dig it? My grandma is in Silver Lake. Love Silver Lake. Near Chinatown. Thanks. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, so we got 785 people on Twitter X right now. Shout out to you guys. 90 people rocking here on YouTube. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. We got a poll up asking, will Roki Sasaki sign with the Dodgers? It has dipped a little bit here now, but it is now 87%. We have 111 votes on the poll. 87% yes, 13% no. Let me know in the comment section if you have not done so already, why you think he will sign with the Dodgers or why you think he will not sign with the Dodgers. We got almost 900 people in the building right now. So if you are on Twitter X, you can't see the poll, but you can let me know in the comments. You can drop a live comment. I will read it. I will answer your question. Or if you see this later, let me know on the post and repost this to your followers. Help get the word out there, man. This is a big night on Twitter X for the show. So make sure to come over and subscribe to us on YouTube, EmpireJeffTV. Follow me on Twitter X if you're on YouTube at EmpireJeff_. My IG is at EmpireJeffTV. My TikTok is at EmpireJeffTV. And my Facebook, which I always fail to promote, is EmpireJeffTV Facebook group. Connected channel really to my IG. Let's see. Mission 24. What's going on, Mission 24? We are not defined by our difficulties. We are defined by how we respond to them. My family, homeless, but we push forward. Man, prayers for your family, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, and I agree with you. It's how you bounce back, but God bless you and your family. And I hope that you guys bounce back and get back up quick as can be, man. And considering everything you're going through and you still have fine time to tune into me, I'm humbled and I appreciate you. So thank you, and God bless you and your family. I used to live in Los Feliz, the happy place, Los Feliz, Los Feliz. Yeah, a lot of good food spots at and around that area, man, for sure, for sure. LA for Life says, I think he will transition better with Ohtani and Yamamoto, and he doesn't have to be the guy in LA. He can just focus on baseball and not the media. He will get endorsement deals regardless. I agree. I don't know what I did at this point. Must have done something stupid. Garish says, off topic, Jeff's opinion on who is the scapegoat for LA Lakers this time. Will LeBron jump to some winning team for the fifth ring to match MJ? Well, MJ's got 6. So I'm not going the Laker path right now. There's plenty of other people doing that right now. And I'll have a Laker video in a couple of days. But thank you for the question, but I'm really trying to keep it baseball right now. Sasaki, what's going on, Michael? Sasaki will be a Dodger because he wants to go to a Laker game. LA for Life says, what percentage do you have it on, Jeff? 90. I'm 90% sure he'll be a Dodger. Kike twerk may be needed. Is Joe gonna do the Kike twerk and a Kike shirt? BC says Echo Park not far from the stadium. Yeah, let's talk about Echo Park real quick, man. That's over by Silver Lake too. Echo Park or Echo Parque, right? That used to be one of the worst neighborhoods you could go to. I used to work over by there. You pass by it now, it is hipstered out. There's all kinds of nice little restaurants, all nice little trendy spots, like brunch spots. Like Echo Park has totally been flipped. Like, it's crazy. Amazing what they've done with that city, man. It used to be you could not be in there after dark. And sometimes when you left Dodger Stadium and you were going back to the valley, and depending on traffic or what the situation was or where I was going, you had to pass through there sometimes. And it was not wise to do that sometimes. But now that place is dope, man. A lot of good spots to eat and drink in Echo Park. Let's see. Blade, what's going on, Blade? Hope you're doing well, man. What's up, Jeff? Stay safe. Appreciate you, man. You too. Scott and Kike next after Roki. Yeah. Blade says, stay safe from all those infernos going on around SoCal. Yeah, appreciate you, man. I am good. I am safe. Like I said, where I live, I'm too inland. I'm too close to the hood, man. like the fires don't reach here. But it doesn't mean it doesn't impact us here. Multiple power outages, family members and friends displaced. There's a lot of things that even if your homes are not threatened, your family is and your livelihood is. You got to take people in. You got to help with resources. I've never, in all the years that we've become accustomed to dealing with LA wildfires, I have never seen so many people be directly linked to someone who was affected by it. Never. It's never been this wide. We've never had this many fires burning at once. That win last week was just unholy. Like those wins were something I have never seen before. And there's just nothing you can do with it. There's nothing you can do with it. All those fires sparking up with gusts of almost 90 miles an hour. There's nothing you can do with that. And it was just going to cause destruction and carnage and hell. And so many people went through that hell. And I swear I'm gonna do everything I can in my power to try to make it to make a difference in making people feel that people care that they went through that. I promise. And we're starting tonight with singling out Dime Dropper, like I said, whose family lost their home and business. And Search is dropping the link throughout the chat tonight. So if you find it in your hearts to support, donate $1, $10, $50, whatever you got, just to drop him a message and a pick me up. Please do so. Please do so. Let's get to this. What's going on, Lobo? Hello to you. Hope you are doing well. Hope everyone is safe out there, man. I'm gonna leave the LeBron stuff alone right now. I read it was TJ and everything but name. Hepatitis. We're going to hepatitis. See you later. Jose De Paula was a minor signing. That's why I'm not concerned. We're losing these top signings this year. They do better with lower cost international free agent signings anyways. Yeah, you know what? They really do well with the under the radar guys, or like the guys they trade for. They really do. So yeah, but hepatitis, I do find it interesting that they're just willing to let those guys walk, right? They're not telling them hold on. They're telling them go. They're not even trying to buy time with them. I think that's telling. I do think that's telling. They call it TJ. It's a brace implant. It was a minor strain, no tear. Those complete tears are ones to worry about. Ohtani probably 100% right now. Dodgers just being extra cautious. Look, Ohtani was 100% at the end of last year. He could have pitched at the end of last year. They're being extra cautious. They're also trying to stretch out how many years he pitches. So they're trying to add to that by dragging that out. What's going on? Don't care. Appreciate you for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. You know what? We have a troll in here. I'm pretty sure Search already nuked him. But he's dropping some craziness in here. Hold on. Let me read this out because it's kind of funny, even though it's not true. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay, he put the same one over and over. Did Search boot him? I'm pretty sure Search booted him because I don't see him again. I'm not gonna put him on the screen, but that's funny. He's stupid. Oh man. That's wild. That's wild. We have got over 900 people currently watching right now, man. This is incredible. Like I said, shout out everyone over on Twitter X. Shout out everyone on YouTube. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. I'll just see what this dude has put in the chat. This dude is wild, man. Oh man. Chris, what's going on, Chris? I think people are forgetting that when Shohei signed, Sasaki immediately wanted to get posted. He wants to play with Shohei and Yamamoto. You are right about that too. He did immediately try to get that done last year. He was thinking of doing that last year. You are right. You are right about that. What's going on, Rand? Dodgers are about to summon King. Man. Shohei max pitches in season was only 166 innings. He's only pitched 481.2 in 5 seasons. Greg says Ohtani can tell him he made $2 million playing baseball, over $100 million in endorsements. Yep. And went out did this thing and got a $1 billion deal, and those endorsements allowed it to where he can defer $680 million of those things, which can also lead to Osaki. We're gonna link those two together. It could lead to Sasaki getting a major deal from the Dodgers, because when he becomes eligible to be a free agent, Ohtani's money will still be being deferred. Wow. Yeah, so this is all Ohtani's deferring is feeding families, y'all. It is absolutely just feeding families, man. I said that was me. Artie's gonna, oh, that was you? Okay. You talk about the Tanner Scott and the Tommy John. That's funny, but it could totally happen, right? I could totally see that happening. Artie's gonna view getting Scott as sticking into the Dodgers, even if he blows his arm off, jumping over a fence like Rendon. You're absolutely right. But I've been saying, I know you were saying it playfully about that, but I was saying, and man, you might be serious too, because Artie's that dumb and petty. But I've been saying that I could see the Angels overpaying just to get him, stick him to the Dodgers, and then try to trade him later. and then him hurting his arm would just be, oh, that'd be terrible for him. But oh my God. By the way, are tickets for the Tokyo series available for purchase? I don't know, to be honest with you. That I don't know. See, too bad he won't be able to win a Cy Young with that many innings, but MVP should still keep coming. Yep. Less media coverage in Toronto, a whole ass country. The same one that's tracking Kawhi. Yep. Facts. Eric says, as long as the Padres don't get him. Yeah, I mean, look, even if the Padres get him, man, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, they don't have Musgrove next season. They're gonna lose Dylan Cease. They're probably gonna lose Luis Ariz. They're probably gonna lose Profar. They probably have to trade one of their bench guys. The Padres, you know what? I thought the Padres were going to take a step back last year, and they still found a way to go all in and still gave the Dodgers everything they handled. On the strength of that, I'm going to give them respect that maybe they figured out a way to be competitive again this year. But my long-term plan for the Padres is kind of bleak. I think all those back-end contracts, all those shortstops that they try to get and eventually throw into the outfield, well, just those bad contracts, man. And age. I just don't see them being a long-term threat. You know, this past year, maybe this coming year, but past that, I just don't see it. I guess, but Clase finished way further out of the Cy Young vote than many thought. True. Clase is a reliever. I think of any reliever as possible. Yeah, he's nasty when he's on. Not all of them. Not all of them. I think you're right about the Northeastern ones who kind of pick the Clippers because they hate the Lakers, but there are a lot of Clipper fans who actually grew up being Clipper fans. The ones who are legitimate Clipper fans are pretty smart and they're pretty cool, man. Like they really are. It's these ones who really aren't Clipper fans. They're just anti-Laker haters, right? They're just hiding in Clipper colors, like LeBron and Laker haters taking refuge in Clipper colors, but they're not really Clipper fans. True, legitimate Clipper fans, while there's nowhere near as many of them as Laker fans, they're not really as bad as you think. Chris, what's going on, Chris? I think people are forgetting that when Shohei signed Sasaki. Okay, I think I touched on that. My bad. Jeff, you're big. You think I'm a big channel? No, I mean maybe I'm big to you guys as far as big as far as you like my channel or something, right? But as far as compared to like some of these channels got 100K, 200K, 50K, like I'm not that big, right? I'm aware, you know. I'm a very, very happy with my almost 2,000 subs, which you know, we were going on a heck of a run leading up to last week. I had my biggest video ever, and then had to take a week off. I lost momentum, but you know, we were on pace to get to 2,000 in probably under 2 weeks, and now I'm sitting here at 1918. The train has slowed down because of events in LA. So I'm going to get back on the grind and try to get there. My goal was to get to 2,000 by the end of February. I was kind of exceeding that time frame with the latest run, but maybe with this latest setback of me not being able to stream, maybe it puts me back on that schedule. Johnny Gomez, what's going on, Johnny? What's the total international pool money the Dodgers have the Roki? I think it's like 2-3 mil, right? I think it's like 3 million. For some reason, I always keep forgetting that because I know it's one of the lower ones. Last year they had more. They had a higher one. They were in like the top of it. Now they're in the lower bracket. So I think it's like 3-ish million, something like that, 2 to 3 million. But it doesn't really matter when on scale of things. The 3 million, the 7 million over 6 years. The endorsement deal is where it's really going to come into play here. Jeff is your psychic warrior. That's funny. Let's see. 49ers thumb down. Don't care says I want to be greedy. Scott and Kike after Sasaki. Oh yeah, I think that's a chance, bro. I think it's a legitimate chance. Chilltown All-Star says Shohei seems like the type of guy that anyone can be comfortable. Roki is supposed to be an introvert, but probably feels comfortable around Ohtani due to his likability and his respect level, right? So I think those are both true. I think those are both true. SG27 says, what's going on, SG? I'm a Pods fan, but I'm just excited to see him in the MLB. I would agree with that, even if he doesn't choose the Dodgers. No matter where, I just want this rivalry to still be awesome. Hopefully ownership doesn't ruin stuff. That's a good take. And like I said, I don't hate the Padres. I think I liked what the Padres were doing. I think it's great to see a team that doesn't necessarily have the means of the Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, Blue Jays, Rangers, Giants, etc. Go for it. I think that's great for baseball. I think it's a reminder. I think it's why teams like Kansas City are doing things that like they didn't typically do before. And I think the Padres deserve credit for that. I'm not a Padre hater. We just compete, right? But I might say it's funny because as you go on all these different sites, IG, Twitter X, YouTube, it seems to be a little different when it comes to engagement as far as how fans talk to each other. On TikTok, it's kind of cool. I got a lot of Padre, Yankee, Mets fans in my comment section and vice versa. And it's like a real cool community over there. There's really no toxic or hate over there. And so YouTube, YouTube is. YouTube comes and goes. IG is crazy, and Twitter X is that is a nut house. But TikTok, it's kind of cool. Like I talk to a lot of Padre fans. Shout out to Padre Bodies, one of my favorites over there. Me and him talk all the time, But there's a lot of there's a lot of female baseball fans on TikTok that know the game, and I think it's dope. So I don't have a problem with these, any other teams, but I want the rivalry to continue. I want it to be respectful because it's fun. So I agree with you. So shout out to you, SG. With all the great pitching, it will not matter when you go to the ballpark. You will be entertained. This is true. Nando says, I grew up in Highland Park. Now it's just a hippie hipster town. It is. There's a lot of like these hippie hipster towns that popped up. Sending love and support to LA from the OC. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Ron says, free Mike Trout. I think you have an MVP caliber season next year. Oh man, that's crazy. I've always wanted Mike Trout to have like a chance to play for something. It's his own. I don't want to say it's his own fault, but he had more control over it, and he could have got out of there. But he kind of liked being under the radar, staying low, being quiet, getting paid. Can't hate on that. But I really would have wished and would have wanted to have seen him in his peak play for something, man. Serious drama. What's going on, serious drama? Are you Latino? I am not Latino, but my wife is a Latina, and I have been raised in Spanish neighborhoods my entire life. But no, I am not. I am not a Latino. I consider myself a guest in the Latino community because, like I said, I married into a Latino family, and I lived in Spanish neighborhoods my entire life. What's going on, Mark? Clipper fans? Never heard of them. There are them. How do you grow up in LA and pick formerly San Diego Clippers to root over the Lakers? I mean, sometimes it's not, guys, sometimes it's sometimes it kind of picks you. That could have been your first game, maybe your first favorite player, maybe your first basketball experience, maybe a Clipper visited your school. Like there's a lot of things that could lead to that, right? To each his own. But advanced lottery tickets started in Japan on Monday. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. Buffalo Clippers of San Diego. That's funny. Got some people on Twitch chipping in. Shout out to you. If you guys, I also stream on Twitch. I never promote that either. So if you're on Twitch right now, make sure to follow the channel. Appreciate you there, Hank. He said, well darn. Let's see. BC speaks the truth. Mark says, I swear in my life, I've met one Clipper fan in my life. Nah, I've met several. Dodgers need to get another bat. They do, Hank. They absolutely do. See, STE says he's not going to the Dodgers. Okay, that's your opinion. I think you are wrong, but we will see. We will see. Padres remind me of the 2000 Kings. Yeah, they remind me of the 2000 Kings or the 2000 Kings or the Clippers, right? The Clippers that didn't win a chip, the Lob City era, the Kawhi PG, very, very similar to on both of those comparables there for sure. New Jersey Dodger fans. What's going on, Devin? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for tuning in. He said, F the Mets. F the Mets. When we're playing them, I definitely think that as well, man. Loser mentality. Mike Trout needs the DH. They're going to play him in center field, which is asking for another injury. Yeah, at this point, just make him DH, man. At this point, he's probably going to retire an Angel. Probably will. I mean, just at this point, just makes sense. Just makes sense at this point. That team was worthy of repeating. Wonder what Kike is up to. He's just waiting for the spot to be open. You mean the 2002 Kings? Trout hometown is Philadelphia. 2001 Kings got annihilated by the Lakers. Yeah, they did, but the 2002 Kings were a problem, right? 2000 Kings took the Lakers in Game 5. 2001, the Lakers were just on their were in their bag. And 2002 Game 7 overtime in Sacramento. I was at that game. Oh my God, that was nuts. My God, I was driving an old Honda Accord, could barely make it up the 5 freeway to that bum ass Arco Arena. Oh my God, man. I think we might see something tomorrow about Sasaki. He might not want to delay the other. That's what I was saying earlier. Even more, even if it won't be official signing, at least an announcement to let the team get bonus. Yeah. I spoke on that earlier. And if he doesn't necessarily sign, maybe he roots one of the teams out, right? Maybe Toronto's out of it tomorrow, and then it's down to the final 2. Maybe that goes a couple of days. But the Dodgers are already casting people off. The Padres are not casting people off. And like I said, so it's going to be very telling in the coming days how this plays out. Because, like I said, I'm about 90% sure he becomes a Dodger. Doesn't mean he will. What do I know, right? I'm just up here, one guy talking sports with a gut feeling. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. But I think there's a strong chance it will. You can say many cuss words. Cut, don't drop the F-bomb. Yeah, no F-bomb. I don't think he cares about the other IFAs, but that would be nice of him. I think, he comes off as being a respectful guy. I think maybe the agent will care about it. Who knows? Like, it depends. Depends what the politics are on the back end of this. But the fact that the Dodgers are not even any way, shape, or form asking any of their guys to wait it out, they're pretty confident. The fact that they were never really even competitive in the Walker Buehler sweepstakes, and he ended up getting qualifying offer money. Like, the fact that they just let him walk for nothing, that they're letting their other international free agents walk for nothing. The writing is kind of on the wall, that the Dodgers feel pretty strongly about their chances of getting him. Very strongly about the chances of getting him. 930 people in the building right now, man. Appreciate you guys. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. We've had as much as 150 people in the room tonight on YouTube. Only 49 likes. So please drop a like if you have not done so already. It just really helps the channel, helps get it in front of other people, helps the algorithm, helps us get out there more, which is what we do this for, right? So we greatly appreciate it. And again, any donations that you were thinking about making tonight, please make sure to drop it. Make that donation to Dime Dropper, who lost his family, home, and business in the Palisades fire last week. A lot of time covering that on the show tonight. I'm going to continue to do that in shows to come, and appreciate anyone who has done so already. And if any of you guys do, and you don't mind, you got me on socials, and you post it on social to spread the word, tag me so I can see who's doing it, man. I want to shout you guys out. Man. Dime deserves it. Big up to Dime, man. Blade says, Jeff, if we get Sasaki, expect the baseball world to say they expect the Dodgers to get back to back every year. It's not if they don't get it, it's a total failure. Yeah, you're probably right, and we don't really care, right? We don't care what people say. We don't. We just want to win no matter what. And all those other people can shut what they call the up, right? Because we don't care. We're here to win these trophies. Look, we had one chip since 1988. We got one in 2020. You tried to say it didn't count. Oh, now we coming for it all. We are coming for it all now. You tried to tell us ours don't count. Now you try to say we bought one. So whatever excuse you can come up with, just look up. Just look up, because the banners are there. Just look up, all right? Because they're there. They're real. They're in the record books, which trumps their hater opinions of it. I would find it weird if Roki didn't make a decision quick. There's not much to think about because the Dodgers are a better situation in every aspect. It's about whether he can handle the circus or not. I mean, if he tries to milk this out just for the attention, or just maybe he just doesn't truly know, I find that a little hard to believe that he won't already know which way he's leaning. And if it's struggling between Dodgers and Padres, then there's no sense to keep the Blue Jays involved. Just get him out. Get him out. Then you get another day or two of the hype of the Dodger-Padre rivalry. That may happen. That still may happen. I just want to get it over with. I just want it over with because I believe if they sign Roki, that they're in a decent position to get Tanner Scott, in a good position to get Tanner Scott. And you talk about just one of the elite, some of the best probably the best 2-year run of any executive in Major League Baseball that we've ever seen, and maybe in sports. What Jerry West pulled off in the summer of '96, Kobe, Shaq, Fisher, got Ori a few months later, but what he did in 1996, that summer, what Andrew Friedman has done the last 2 off seasons, and if you go back to 2019, getting Mookie Betts, going into 2022, getting Freeman. But the 2024, 2025 offseason for the Dodgers have just been next level stuff. Kim is on a flight to Arizona, and he said that Ohtani learned Korean and he learned Japanese since he made the effort. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier too. He also learned how to talk to Teo. So he always greeted Teo, right? And that's like Ohtani's got a way. He plays baseball with kind of this boyish appreciation for the game. And I think other players respect that. And I think in a lot of areas where other players might be competitive with some guys, I think that portion with Ohtani just makes him so embraceable, right? And I think that other guys want to play on a team with someone like that. And I think that's going to be a major reason why we get Sasaki. That's just what I feel. That's just what I feel. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for the night. You guys could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with me. I appreciate that. I'll be back probably sometime tomorrow. I'm going to try to get a little bit more consistent. The winds are going to get hectic late tonight and into tomorrow. So depending on what the situation is here in LA, tomorrow's has a chance to be brutal. So I will kind of literally let nature take its course tomorrow to determine if we do a show tomorrow or not. But on that note, everyone in LA or anyone who's in any area that's under watch or got current fires or anything, God bless you and your families. Be careful, stay safe, and I hope to see you guys up here tomorrow night with me doing a show, you being available to watch, and everyone is safe. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you came in late and watched the replay, let me know what you think in the comment section. Drop a like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Shout out to everyone on Twitter X, man. Almost 900 people in the building over there right now. Love you guys. Love everyone on YouTube. Catch you guys on the next one. LA, we love you. Stay safe, LA, man. And I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. I'm out of here. Go Dodgers. Let's get Roki. Peace. Appreciate you, Search. You're the best in the business, brother. Love you.